Hi, my name is Greg McCoach, editor of the Mining Speculator. I'm here today with CEO Mike Devji of NORA Metals. Mike, welcome to the interview.
Thank you, Greg.
NORA is a new company in my newsletter. I wanted to take some time after our MIF presentation last week to really dial in on some of the questions that others have been asking me since that presentation. Mike, I think the main issues are, what are our next steps and how do we move forward to prove value with this resource that's already been there and has plenty of infrastructure?
Well, Greg, I think the most important thing here is that we had very little idea of what we were acquiring when we acquired the project. We had no idea how much infrastructure there was on the property, how much data that we were able to acquire. As you know, to duplicate a lot of this data today would cost a lot of money. So what we've done is, over the last roughly 1 year, so 2019 late to 2020, we've kind of tried to accumulate the data, digitize it so that it's easier for us to start sharing it with our engineers, and rather than having for somebody to go to Norway and sit there for long periods of time, and becomes very expensive. So we've hired 4 Norwegian students, and as of yesterday, we hired 4 Portuguese mining students, that will continue to digitize the rest of the data that we have, And part of the data is the geology that we have now encountered. What we want to do is take that and put that into our leapfrog model, which is on our website. It's a 2-minute video that I think everyone that's interested in NORA should have a look at. It gives you a very, very good idea of what this project's all about, So the geology, once it's input with all the 1,400 drill holes that we've been able to input in this leapfrog model, will give us a much clearer picture of what our next steps are going to be. So next steps going forward, the next, say, 12 to 15 months timeline would be to go out and spend roughly $1 million to $1.5 million roughly to go and take some of the historical drill holes that are already drilled and probably go and sort of drill some of the holes, new holes, right adjoining or right next to the historical holes, and see what type of results we get back. And then at random, throw a bunch of drill holes to see what we get back in return. Once the results come in and they're similar to the historical results, then I think an independent geologist would probably feel comfortable in giving us a starting resource that's already in place, but it's historical, so we can't use that because it's older than 2 years, So the idea is to kind of bring the project to current standards, and that would involve, in the budget that I just gave you, roughly $1.5 million that we would spend over the next, say, 14, 15 months. Getting permits for all the drilling, the exploration permits, fairly easy to do. EMX Royalties just got permits on 2 projects that they're operating right now in Norway and Sweden. And they told me, Eric Jensen just basically told me that, Mike, it takes roughly 6 weeks to get the permitting process in place. You just have to follow a certain guidelines that are in place. And once you follow those, the permitting process is fairly easy to get. And timeline on that is about 5-6 weeks to get the permits, Yeah. So I think important thing here, you are acquiring a project that is really, really advanced. The project just stopped production simply because metal prices were very low. It wasn't that they ran out of a resource. And by getting this data that we acquired, it has given us a very clear idea that we're dealing with a project that has a lot of resource that's left behind, when they stopped mining. They took out 5 million tons. The area that they've drilled clearly shows, if you look at the leapfrog model on the website, that there is a lot more than 5-6 million tons that's sitting there that is left behind. In a project like the Bleikvassli, if you get to between 5 and 10 million tons, I think you can excite a mid-tier mining company like Boliden, like Lundin. Lundin has a mine that's operating on the Sweden side of the border called the Zinkgruvan. They acquired Zinkgruvan back in the mid to late 90s, and they haven't stopped mining it. They may have taken out probably in excess of $15 billion of ore out of that. And when they acquired the Zinkgruvan, it had about 5-6 million tons. Today, they are in excess of 50 million tons. As they go deeper, the grades are increasing in copper and zinc. And this is clearly what's shown on our project, where the deeper holes that have gone down to 480 meters show that the copper and the zinc grades clearly increase in value. Plus, there's a lot of silver and gold credits on the property that we don't talk about right now. But the silver credits are running between 60 and 80 grams. And as they go deeper, those grades increase significantly. Okay. So the idea here is to clean up the mine, which has been sitting in care and maintenance until we came into the picture. Probably hasn't been worked on for the last 40, 50 years. All the underground workings that are in place are all in pretty good standing. Most of it is all rock rather than lumber. Okay, so it's easier to go in there and safer to go in there and clean up. Okay, so that's kind of the game plan going forward. The market cap of the company does not justify the project. Okay, that's just the one of 3 projects that we have in the company.
That's right.
And this is a very important point. Based on all the infrastructure and the resource that's in the project today, we're trading around $8 million market cap. So this is fairly new. The shareholders that have financed the company to date are mostly insiders. And mostly very, very close to the project, and every single individual that's financed the company are very aware of the project that we've acquired. And on the basis of that, they're looking to increase their positions, and they have done in the last 2 financings that we've done. Also, the key here is that as you go forward here, there is very little mining or exploration that has occurred in the market over the last 4 or 5 years. Okay, as a result of that, the pipeline of most of the major mining companies is diminishing because they're running out of resources. Okay, and because of new projects coming on stream, they normally take between 5 to 10 years, maybe 15 years, and in our case, we have a lot of that work already in place. So we're kind of halfway there. All we need to do is now move forward and take it to the next step. And we feel that because of the status of the project, and because we are not discovering or looking for a discovery, we already know what we have. It's a matter of building out and see how big that we can make this project into. I feel that we'd be on the radar of a lot of these majors that would be looking for acquisitions for their future mine supply, okay? And definitely we are in an area where you can work year-round, so it doesn't matter whether it's summer or winter, you can work year-round. You're 30 minutes from a port on the Norway side. You are roughly 6 hours away on the Sweden side, a port with a big smelter that Boliden owns, okay? Yep. So you have a lot of these things built up that normally in a mining venture, you'd have to go and find or, build. Okay. So a lot of this stuff is already in place for us.
Already there. And with that, Mike, we're coming up to the limit on our interview here, so we're going to have to close it up. But I just want to let people know how excited I am. I'm a big shareholder. I'm adding to my position as I speak. And I just think CEO Mike Devji has the right model, has the right project for a great success in our future. So great potential success, Mike. And you and I will be talking quite a bit in the weeks and months ahead.
Thank you, Greg. So big upside here, just not been realized yet. And thank you for your time today.